G'day viewers, Aussie Roadshow back again. Today I'm going to show my entire Palace Academy video collection as it stands right now. And before I get started, I just want to point out that the type of movies on this label are foreign language, non-English language, art house and classic films. So if you're one of my subscribers that's only into horror movies or exploitation, there's absolutely nothing in this for you today, so there's no point watching this video. But on the other hand, if you're interested in seeing this collection, then stick around and let me know what you think. I don't know of any other collectors on YouTube or elsewhere that have taken any level of interest in collecting these types of movies. I think John up in Sydney might have one or two, and I know Simon picked up one recently. Dom's only interested in horror movies, and Paul up in Brisbane I don't know, or Wix Cassidy. Matt over in Adelaide I understand has none. I don't know if Adam has any, and Shane over in Perth is mainly interested in horror as well. So it looks like I'm it. I'm the only one. So let's get started. The Tin Drum. This is the very first film that I ever saw on Palace Academy, and the film blew me away. It was just an amazing film. My mum had to rent this for me because back in the day it was rated R, and I wasn't allowed to rent it. It's not now, it's dropped the rating, but it's one of the very first releases on the label, and you can tell you got an early release with that preview advice on it. Anyway, German film set during World War II is a brilliant film and comes highly recommended. Just read up about it on the internet. I won't go into too much detail. A similarly themed film is this one called Alsino and the Condor. I believe I've shown this one before. I showed some of my Palace Academies ages ago. But this is a Nicaraguan film set during their Civil War conflict, whatever. It stars Dean Stockwell as a token American soldier who strikes up a friendship with that kid. And look, this is quite a good film. I enjoyed that one, and I believe it's been released on DVD overseas. Children of Rage is another war-related film. You'll see quite a few today. And this is a film about the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Will that war ever end? I don't know. It's not a bad film. It's, I think, a UK, Israel, Italy co-production, so bit of a bizarre mix of bloody countries there, but yeah, not a bad film, and quite a difficult one to find. And another tricky one to find, and featuring a kid, is Pixote. This is a Brazilian film that had a very colourful censorship history, which you can read about on the Refused Classification website. This film screened on SBS Uncut back in the 80s, which would have been pretty scandalous, but they got away with it. This is a brilliant film. I'm surprised Umbrella haven't picked up the DVD. But yeah, it is definitely worthy of a DVD release in this country. But it is a very good film about a kid from the slums who goes through a lot of crime and gets sent to a youth detention centre and all that sort of stuff. It is a fantastic film, and if you can ever find the old Palace Academy, do so. It's a great film. Fanny Alexander. Now this is Fanny and Alexander, Ingmar Bergman's classic film. But this one is English dubbed, believe it or not. I don't recommend watching the English dub version. I would highly recommend you watch the Swedish version with subtitles. It's screened on SBS late last year, I believe. Stunning, amazing film, one of my favourite films of all time. Now this cover has been thoroughly raped. It's Carmen, and it's a Spanish film. It's kind of a musical dance type of film, and I haven't watched this yet, so I don't know anything about it other than the fact that this cover is totally rooted, and I hope to find a better quality one. But the tape is fine. If you've seen this film, let me know what you think. We'll move on to some American films now. This one called Mr. Halpern and Mr. Johnson. Believe it or not, this film was directed by Alvin Rakoff, who did Death Ship. Now, I haven't watched this film yet because I only got it recently. It's a perfect condition, one that I got from 10 Clear Out ages ago, off eBay, that is. Charlie Chaplin was British, but anyway, a couple of films, I think were set in America anyway. First off is Modern Times, and the second one is The Great Dictator. There was a whole series of Charlie Chaplin movies released on Palace Academy, and these are the only two that I have. Paul sent me that one, and if you're only ever going to see two Charlie Chaplin films and you want to impress your friends with your clever knowledge of movies, I would recommend these two here, because Modern Times is the last silent film that Charlie Chaplin ever did, and featuring the character there known as the Tramp, who this was the last film he ever appeared in. And the very next film he did was The Great Dictator, and this is one of my favourite films of all time. I love this film. It is so funny, and it's the first talking film that Charlie Chaplin ever did. He does all his own stunts, and he writes the screenplay and directs his movies, everything. He does everything. The guy's a genius, he really is. I would encourage people to see these two Charlie Chaplin movies. They are absolutely fantastic. Genocide, this is a documentary made by the Simon Wiesenthal Centre. It is based on the World War II genocide of the Jews. It goes into a bit of history of the persecution of the Jews over the centuries, but is primarily about World War II. It's actually quite a riveting documentary, and it did win an Academy Award. Another war-themed film is this one by Robert Altman called Streamers. And if you're not into really art house movies, you're not going to like this movie at all. I thought it was really fantastic, but it's basically set in one room about these guys who are about to be assigned to the Vietnam War, and one of them is gay, and it talks about the controversy surrounding that and the character development around that. If you have a problem with gay theme or homosexual themes or anything like that, you want to steer clear of that one. Look, I'm not the least bit homophobic, so I don't really care about that type of theme in a movie. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I love Robert Altman's films anyway. Another Robert Altman film, and this one was based on a play. Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, Jimmy Dean. It's got Cher in it, and a few others. This is a really good film, and this is just set in a diner. And they talk about the idol Jimmy Dean, and suddenly all these characters unfold, and I really enjoyed that film anyway, and I don't think that's on DVD. Another American one, A Little Night Music with Elizabeth Taylor. I just bought this prior to her death, and I haven't watched this film yet. Believe it or not, this is based on the screenplay, an Ingmar Bergman film called Smiles on a Summer Night, and in turn this is based on a Broadway musical called Send in the Clowns. It's a type of musical film. I think I'll like it because it's based on a Bergman film, and I love Ingmar Bergman's movies. And the last American film is A Streetcar Named Desire, and this is the 1984 version, which I don't think is on DVD. And this screenplay, based on a play, has been made into a film 3 times. Once in the 50s, this one in the 80s, and once in the 90s. And I didn't like this film much. Treat Williams irritated the shit out of me. But anyway, look, if you like the book, maybe you'll get something out of it, but I wasn't a fan of this one. So we'll move on to some French movies now, starting off with Diva. This one was directed by Jean-Jacques Bineix, and he did Betty Blue, one of my favourite films of all time. And this film's not bad either. The only issue with this one is it's the English dubbed version, and Palace did release a French subtitled version, and I haven't got that copy, but hopefully I'll find it. But anyway, get the DVD of that one. Diva's a great film. I really enjoyed that one. This one stars Gérard Depardieu. Don't you love my French? Fucking The Moon in the Gutter is about a guy who is is grieving about the murder and rape and murder of his sister, and he comes across this rather mysterious woman. It's a very good film. I really enjoyed that film, The Moon in the Gutter. Another one with him in it is The Last Metro, and that one has Catherine Deneuve in it. That's set during World War II, and is a fantastic movie that you should get on DVD and have a look at. It's a great film. The last French one is A Sunday in the Country. I think I've shown this one before. Now, I don't watch many G-rated movies, but this one I really liked. And it was directed by Bertrand Tavernier, and is a period drama which sounds painfully boring, but is actually not that badly made at all. And onto some Italian films. This one, The City of Women. I love this film to death, and I've got the DVD and bloody umbrella, and this is my favourite Fellini film, and a lot of Fellini fans would kill me for saying that because, you know, he made some great stuff like La Dolce Vita and 8.5 Women. But I just love this. I don't know what it is about this movie. I just love it. It's kind of, I don't know what to say about it. It stars Marcello Mastroianni, who was in quite a few of his movies. I don't know what to say. It's a brilliant film. Inheritance is another Italian movie with Anthony Quinn. It is dubbed into English, although Anthony Quinn speaks English in this and the rest of the voices are dubbed. It's quite a strange film about a family fighting over an inheritance of Anthony Quinn, who plays a character who hates his kids. It's a real sleeper. It starts off boring and then it gets really interesting towards the end and ends really well. I really enjoyed that film. I've shown this one before called The Mystery of Oberwald. About a woman, it's kind of a period drama about a woman who is grieving over her husband's death, and the husband visits her in a ghostly state. It's actually a subtle ghost story, believe it or not. But that film, I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. And the last Italian film is The Night of the Shooting Stars, and this one was released on DVD by Umbrella, and I've shown this one before, I believe. It's quite a hard Palace Academy video to find, set during World War II in a village in Italy, and is not a bad film. This is an Australian film, a couple of Aussie films I've got on the label. My First Wife, directed by Paul Cox, won a few AFI awards. This was co-written by Bob Ellis, and if you've seen the Not Quite Hollywood documentary, you'll know him as that fat, pretentious, arrogant asshole. He wrote this, well, co-wrote this terrible film, and the other one he did was Man of Flowers, which is also on Palace Academy, and I don't have a copy of it. Very boring, pretentious, art house, urban Australian drama. I hate this film. And another Aussie film is called The Wild Duck. Believe it or not, it's an Aussie film. It's got Jeremy Irons and Liv Ullmann in it. I haven't seen this film because I only recently picked it up, so I'll watch that soon-ish, I guess. And the last movies I'm going to show you are all English. Starting off with The Ploughman's Lunch. It's an 80s film from Britain. It is a fantastic politically related drama. I really enjoyed that one. This one called Another Time, Another Place, directed by Michael Radford. This woman's performance is amazing. Now, Michael Radford directed 1984 directly after this one, and this is quite a good film as well, about a bunch of Italian soldiers during World War II, again war-themed, up in Scotland, and she falls in sort of love with one of them. But her performance is amazing. I really recommend that film. I think Britain released the DVD of that. The Return of a Soldier. This is set during World War I. I saw this years ago and I can't remember much about it. I think I liked it. One of the early releases with that preview thing on it. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I think it was okay. I can't remember much. And Heat and Dust. I hated this film. It took me 3 nights to get through it. It's about a woman who travels to India. Look, the film looks amazing, don't get me wrong. Anyway, it's about a woman who goes to India trying to follow the footsteps of her great aunt. And she ends up falling in love with some guy from the Indian aristocracy, and it's a terrible film. I'm sorry. I hated this film with a passion. But anyway, it's on the Academy label and I'll hang on to it. And the last one is this one, The Draftman's Contract, Peter Greenaway film. I've got the DVD of this somewhere. Really strange little period drama. I love Peter Greenaway's movies. They're pretty provocative at the best of times, but I really enjoyed this film as well. Well, that's it. That's all I've got. And thanks for watching and thanks for enduring this video. I know a lot of people aren't into this sort of stuff, so I promise to show some more DVDs in the next update. And but anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon.